You know what I want to learn about? I want to learn a bit more about Vtuber agencies. Why do we only see, like, a handful actually stick around and thrive? Jiggle, 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 jiggle. Depressed Nousagi put out a video titled "Why 90% of Vtuber agencies failed or fail," and I think it could shed some insight. I'm glad you could catch me live, Princess. So, without further ado, Nousagi, take it away.
Corpos. The world is ruled by it. Everyone does everything they do because they set trends. People hate them, yet follow their example. If VTubers benefit from parasocialism, corpos are all about paracapitalism. Reject the system. Fuck the corpos. Run along the edges of parasocial relationships as an individual.
Paracapitalism? What? I love this guy.
VTuber, or better yet, join a small agency.
You just saw a TikTok about what specifically? Hit me up, I'll check it out after this video.
Defiance to these para-capitalist freaks and fail completely. Because most VTuber agencies collapse in less than a year and aren't as stable or supportive as you think it is. That shouldn't be surprising to anyone though, because most startup businesses fail, and businesses in the VTubing industry aren't an exception. The thing about starting a
makes
VTuber
sense,
agency
yeah.
is that it's actually really easy. Anyone with around 20,000 bucks can start an agency. The
Really?
technology and
20,000 to start an agency? Don't know goal when.
research required to do it.
Well, like, my thinking is, what if worker co-op? What if? What if? That's all I'm saying. What if?
VTubers themselves and staff, all of these are really easy to obtain, especially since there's a massive pool of skilled entertainers that want to be in the VTuber industry. And there's also no shortage of job seekers and artists looking for work. But what a lot of agency owners think is that their jobs end after they debut the talent. They came into the industry either with unreasonable expectations or almost no expectations at all. It reeks of company owners not having a vision or direction for how they want their project to go. They just do what
I'm gonna not pause right there. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I've been semi-involved in a startup. And that's kinda dried up as well because of its lack of overall oversight or direction with their plan. And honestly, I would have really loved to see that follow through, but it's kind of dead in the water. VTuber co-op, sign me up. I mean, we're thinking about it. Just throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing what sticks. Was Pride Platoon the startup? Pride Platoon is what Kinky Pride turned into, right? No, it was actually something separate. It was going to be like VTuber live events and esports. Like we are going to host a convention.
Nousagi is doing minus the professionalism and the business acumen, and as a result, controversy and drama follows them a lot. Be it accusations of mismanagement where the talents had to fend off for themselves initially, grooming accusations, abusive or manipulative staff, these problems and more are issues that small corpo fans and small corpo VTubers themselves all know too well.
I mean, yeah, as anyone grows in size, there's going to be people that rebranded because Kinky was turning people away. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I get that. Like they thought they had to be lewd to be in it. Yeah, it kind of had an inherent lewdness to it. Shit, now I forgot the sentence you just said.
Grooming accusations, abusive or
Right. with anybody. It doesn't matter how say-so you are, how lewd you are, how into the parasocial relationship you are. It happens. People will call you out over shit. And from what I've engaged with and what I've looked into, like 90% of it is petty interpersonal beef and bullshit, trying to blow things up out of proportion. Honestly, I kind of think the Mummy Mortem drama was blown out of proportion. And, well, Mummy's back, so maybe it would be worth talking about again. Actually, I didn't publicize that video. I should probably talk about it. That was an interesting bit of discourse.
Manipulative staff, these problems and more are issues
Also,
that small
Princess, you're
corpo
fine.
fans and small corpo VTubers themselves all know too well. And it results in a lot of small VTubers graduating from these corpos in less than a year. Some departures in good terms while others not so much. It all reeks of the managers and CEOs of these companies not doing well to manage their talents or even fulfilling the support that they promised. A lot of these agencies just lack the vision, perseverance, or the know-how to navigate the VTuber industry. However, this was kind of how Hololive and Nijisanji
Yeah,
was in their
Nousagi is
first
really
years too.
interesting
They were
and
also
insightful.
companies that didn't really push their talents that hard initially. Hell, both have been called black companies when they started getting some traction due to a lot of drama and mismanagement. But the reason they were able to make it out was that they managed to weather the storm and accrued
Hey,
enough
Kiryu
resources
Coco.
to eventually make it big.
I've covered a
They had
video
a
of
goal
hers.
for the future. They endured and played the long game while maintaining enough composure internally to keep themselves from falling apart. They were able to capitalize and take.
Oh, Nousagi was on a hiatus? I only recently just came across their content, and I've really been liking their insight into different topics in the VTuber community. It's part of I like talking about the VTuber community at large. I'm one of the few people that do. There's partly medical, partly backlash from other VTubers. Wait, what backlash? I mean, everybody gets called out sooner or later over dumb shit. And sometimes over legit shit. I mean, pay attention to the stream later. I haven't talked about the blacklist yet. That one will be a segment.
Take advantage whenever the algorithm decides to bless them. These are things that a lot of VTuber agencies right now aren't able to do. Most agencies come in the industry with unreasonable expectations and for short-term profits. They're not looking at what their company could be 3 to 4 years in the future, and they aren't taking any steps to steer their agency in a proper direction too. This can be seen in the form of agencies wrapping absurd terms and contractual clauses like making their talents cover their own costs, make their own promo materials, and even...
What? So, they're going to hire you and then make you pay for the stuff that they're going to own out of your pocket? This is so sus. This is why I like the idea of, they're accused of revealing past lives of VTuber, but by the time I looked into it, they had already scrubbed their channel. Oh. Huh. Well, I mean, if they don't regularly make that kind of stuff, I can't really condemn them, so. Appreciate you talking about this stuff, by the way. I'm not confident enough in my ability to do so yourself. Wait, like, talk about VTubers in a progressive lens? Honestly, girl, we need more people talking about VTuber commentary with progressive narratives. Because, like, it's either just the facts or it's apolitical but actually right-winger shit. So, we kind of need more progressive content. Oh, is this too quiet, by the way?
Even fucking non-competes, all because
that's
they
loud.
want to maximize profits, squeeze all they can from their talents without even guiding or giving them avenues to grow. However, despite all
Bit of a
these
boys' club in a
exploitative
sense.
practices,
The
Their
big ones?
tactics
Yeah, it
still
honestly is.
work. People still hop into these companies, and the reason why is that a lot of aspiring VTubers feel that they need this. There's a massive pool of VTubers that cannot afford the marketing or even the VTuber model to become a VTuber. They want to make friends in the industry.
I'm not the biggest on that framing. You do not need like a live 2D model like theirs. I started out with the PNG tuber to get into it. I made a free 3D model. I've said this like a million times. I'm going to say it again. It's free to get into VTubing. I didn't even have a webcam when I started. You don't need money to become a VTuber. I'm a broken record by this point, Lamau. You and me both, Orphan. Hey, how you doing? True, the Justifax ones often unintentionally lean to the right-wing narratives, I find. Oh yeah, there are tons of free PNG makers. I used Picrew. And yeah, some of the just for facts ones, like the ones that are just facts, like Kyo, False ID, I like them. They're pretty good stuff. They got pretty good stuff. My problem is like Rev says Rev says Desu says you shouldn't be bringing politics into VTubing. That's just his personal opinion. But that's a very conservative opinion. It's the same thing as they don't want politics in video games. They don't want politics in media. They don't want politics in whatever they're talking about. And whenever they say they don't want politics, it's a progressive narrative that they refer to as politics. Rev says Desu and Hero, hey? Yeah, both of them. They are both like, you shouldn't talk about politics in VTubers. And then they push conservative narratives. I've covered both of them before. That was pretty fun.
Connect and have people to grow and have fun times with. So when they see some VTuber startup company, they become excited over these promises. Some of these girls are young, ignorant, desperate, or menheras, sometimes all of the above, making them easy to tempt and fool. And when in the end, the venture just falls flat in their face, even with all the marketing glamour they toss on social media, it gets very depressing for them. To a point where friendship within these agencies will no longer matter, because friendship doesn't put food on the table. Hell, sometimes a VTuber goes apeshit when they don't see the kind of numbers and results that they expected by being in an agency. People have to
Yeah, those types are always rightoids. And in response to Nousagi, yeah, holy shit, I can totally understand how there can be new VTubers trying to break into the industry, and then they see the... I'm not going to go with the term corpo VTubers. I'm going to go with contracted. Let's go with that one. So many VTubers rage quit these days because they get mad that it's hard. Yeah, like in one way it's easy to just stream, but in other ways it's pretty challenging. And it's a lot of ways that people don't realize until they actually get into it and do it. Shit, I was going to say something responding to Nousagi. Yes, a lot of newer VTubers getting into it see the glamour of getting in with an agency and how it could be a quick path to success. But it's honestly really hard to get past a lot of auditions for the agencies. So they can't really get into the bigger agencies. They look for the smaller ones. And then the smaller ones, like most companies, end up failing. Because a lot of small startups fail. Unfortunately, they should be subsidized more so we have less startup failures and we have more successful ones.
realize, when agencies and VTubers enter the industry this late, it's not going to work out so well even after a year later. Most VTuber markets now are saturated, and finding unique spins and innovations is going to take a lot of effort and time.
Oh god, that is so true. There is quite a bit of or they get picked up by shady groups. New VTubers? Yeah, that happens too. Though I haven't seen too many shady groups, I wouldn't be surprised if they're out there. Agencies nowadays are so dangerous, like big corpos, not quite. Specifically, if you have visible examples of them being on the right track. Problem lies on people just trying to make agencies. Really hard to be unique, though I don't think I've seen anyone based on Xeno Chronicles 2 lore lol. That is true, Praxis. You have very unique lore there. My very unique thing is not that I'm a succubus, it's that I'm actually doing progressive commentary on the VTuber community at large. And honestly, leaning into this niche has been really good for me. I feel like making group is the equivalent of kids wanting to make a band back in the day. Oh my god, that's so true. That hurts. That hurts how true it is.
VTuber fans have settled with their Oshis, so aspiring VTubers are going to have to try harder than before to get someone even slightly interested in them. No VTuber agency is going to be able.
Still need to write up actual lore to differentiate myself from the games. That is true. Because it's kind of hard to commercialize yourself off of an already registered IP.
Able to promise you 4 view digits unless you're in a medium to big sized corpo. Hell, most can't even promise you anything aside from your model or some pre-debut advertisement. And the fact that the VTuber still splits their meager profits with an agency that might be doing fuck all makes it all worse.
Yeah, like the bigger agencies will take a big cut of like the donos and subs that their talent gets, but then they're not actually doing stuff to properly promote their talent. Thank you, Princess. I will check it out halfway through the video. Big true. I actually was in a band one summer. We played a concert and a battle of the bands and everything. Oh shit, I didn't even get that far with my band. We tried writing one song and never finished that.
This kind of thing happens all the time. Because who cares about some random girl they pick up on auditions? They're just a bunch of nobodies and expendables. There are always new, desperate people that want to be a VTuber out there. Nor will the fanbase really care.
Or doing the bare minimum to avoid a lawsuit or breach of contract? True. Corporations will always do the bare minimum to maximize their profit and then, you know, minimize yours. Because that's how capitalism works.
If someone gets taken advantage of in a lot of these small communities.
So, VTuber agencies are the streamer equivalent of multi-channel networks? Yes? VTuber agencies are basically VTuber groups, but turned into an actual corporation. So, like, they have, they all kind of work together, but independently. It's weird. I definitely want to get more knowledge of VTuber agencies and worker cooperatives, because honestly, that could be a powerful tool for the left.
Communities, unless of course the severity of their maltreatment reaches headlines in any VTuber news outlets.
Niji Sanji.
Most people just get popcorn and watch the dumpster fire, and if there are fans, it can be dividing for them, because in cases like these, they want to support the talents.
MCMs are YouTuber collaborators who go into business. Oh yeah, like Asmongold and Moist Critical and those. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Full screen? I don't want to full screen the thing so you guys can see the majority of the screen.
But they don't want to support the agency.
They were an
All of
MCN.
These are reasons why so many small corpo VTubers either leave the agency to join another one, become an indie, or just quit entirely. The VTuber industry is
Honestly, it's always so sad when somebody just kind of walks away from content creation. I'm a big YouTube fanboy, lol. Oh yeah, same. I used to engage more with Twitch streams than I did YouTube, but lately I've been watching more and more content on YouTube. Though I've always watched YouTube, I've just been finding more and more VTubers on YouTube to, you know, engage with, check out their content.
already saturated, especially the common targets for a lot of these corpos. Couple that with the fact that these CEOs don't even have a plan or something that makes them stand out, and
Hey,
that
look,
they are
a
just
Nazi.
plain incompetent, greedy, or unprofessional, and you get the overall reason as to why most VTuber agencies
Not
fail.
meow.
They have higher-ups that have no vision, can't manage cash flow, can't handle external or internal conflicts, can't manage morale, can't enforce rules or boundaries, can't hire the right kind of staff or talents for their goals.
Yes, Pippa.
This is why there's always drama regarding mismanagement.
I don't have any direct confirmation besides a clip of her saying something along the lines of there's already a secret group of people that control the world, and then her chat spams oy vey. Yeah, that's usually what they call themselves to get away with it.
Harassment, internal fighting, exploitations, and a whole slew of other issues. That being
She
said,
just
there are small
breeds,
agencies that are successful,
conservative
like
sentiment.
which have managed to stay afloat in a relatively stable state. They're not perfect, yes, and they too have had their yabs, but the talents in there
Her model
are
is
actually
super
managed
cute, though.
better than most small corpos. It seems like they actually do have a plan, unlike most VTuber startups. They're playing the long game instead of having these short-sighted expectations and exploitative terms that a lot of agencies have. The fact that they've been up for more than a year and most of their talents are still active, and that not a single one has even graduated, speaks enough on how much the talents are in a better spot than most. Anyone can start an agency. Anyone can be a VTuber. But not just anyone can succeed in it. Like all industries and communities in the world,
Nousagi.
there are diamonds in the rough within these agencies. It's an entire ecosystem down here with talented people that deserve more than what they currently.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if she was popular on 4chan's VTuber board. Well, there was an infamous one that used on YouTubers like Smosh and Game Theory that went bankrupt because they used ad revenue as payment for investors and tricked investors into thinking they had great profits when most of the money they actually made owed to the YouTube talents. Ooh, that is pretty shady on their end.
Have. They just need their big break to eventually be noticed. Ultimately, I think that's what all VTubers and agencies want. To have that big break. But until then, they have...
I mean, yeah, what content creator deep down wouldn't want to be noticed? We're social animals. We love to be noticed. It's like the fun of streaming. Or it's part of the fun. You really gotta find the fun for yourself. For me, it's making a bunch of commentary about VTubers.
Have to brave through the first hurdles while being fairly good to their talents, to maintain a positive internal community despite tough times. Running a VTuber agency isn't going to be profitable initially, but that's not a reason for any owner to exploit their talents or put in absurd contract terms. CEOs are going to have to keep sinking money if they ever look to run their own agency. Their jobs don't stop after giving them a model and making their VTubers debut. They're going to bleed a lot of resources, but that's a sacrifice anyone has to pay if they want to have a successful business. This isn't to discourage anyone from starting or joining a small agency. It's okay for these small corpos to experience drama here and there. No company is without controversy, after all.
Like, literally every company has its own controversies, especially depending on how far deep down conspicuous consumption rabbit hole you go. Like, if you really want to dive down that, everybody is subservient to child labor or child exploitation. Like, you want to send me a computer or a smartphone that isn't made with electronics from that? It's a weird topic to get into. I don't try to dive into it too much.
I like to believe that Eventually, despite the drama and hiccups that a lot of these small agencies experience, they'll eventually wrest the market from the top dogs in the future, much like how Hololive and Nijisanji stole the spotlight in their time too. When someone decides to run their own agency, they ought to start lowering expectations and be smart about this business. It's not something they can just half-ass and expect short-term profits from. They have to keep reinvesting into the business if they want it to last and make it more profitable in the future.
Yep, Nousagi ain't missing here. Which is why the comparison to VTuber agencies. This vid says many graduate in a year. Many small YouTube channels would leave NCM within a year, or at the end of ridiculous long-term contracts they had that are hard to get out of. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Because I wouldn't be surprised if agencies put in really exploitative contracts. The MCN that used to own Smosh was called Defy Media. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't think I've actually heard of that name. They are no longer here? Good. It sounds like that they're pretty predatory in general. Which is why I kind of like the idea of giving it a try with a worker cooperative. So rather than having like your CEOs and investors as your top ends, it's all the VTubers, all the talent, the artists, the riggers, the technical support. Everybody would own a part of it and generate or gain profits together. At least that's kind of what I'm thinking. Who knows?
They have to have grit and business savviness to actually survive in this industry, while supporting their VTubers along the way. The biggest reason that VTubers stay with their agencies even despite tough times is their faith in their managers and the company itself, that they can weather the storm and eventually make it.
I like Anthony Padilla's interviews. He does various groups and cultures. He actually interviewed a few VTubers a couple years back. Oh, really? I would love to go over some of that. Yep, they went bankrupt. Many YouTubers that were part of it were owed millions. Oh, yeah. The owners at Defy Media probably just... Well, they're never making money again. Mind if you drop a link in chat? Please do.
Out even bigger and better than before. Hololive and Nijisanji went through this. They didn't take shortcuts. It took them and their talents a lot of time, suffering, and controversy to get here.
Yeah, that's true. Hololive and Nijisanji are the big ones because they've been at this for quite a while and they haven't really stopped. They've just kept going and they've found pretty entertaining talent. Click. Oh, 20 minutes. No. Spent a day with VTuber. Oh my god, yes, we're watching this.
And it might take just as much time, suffering, and controversy for you, as an agency owner or VTuber, to be in their position someday too. For an agency to succeed.
Thank you, Nousagi. I love your content. He also did an interview of Nux too. Ooh, I covered Nux recently. It's one of my more popular videos that I've done.
VTubers have to have the appropriate expectations from these agencies, and they'll have to trust that their companies will do good by them. VTubers can't afford to be selfish. They'll have to work with other genmates and staff as a team, no matter what sacrifices are involved. And these agencies and owners will have to live up to the trust and expectations of their members and actually fulfill their obligations, even if...
That's true. You're going to make promises to your talent. You better,
The show is...
Oh, another 20 minutes. Ooh. If you're going to make promises to your talent, especially if you're going to be, you know, working in a professional environment, you better follow through with those promises.
Things along the way get...
Especially if they're in writing.
Bumpy, it's this trust that's going to keep the company together. It's this trust that differentiates a long-standing and respected VTuber agency from a dead one. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this video. Leave a like and comment down below if I missed something or if you have something to add.
God, I like his videos. Their videos, I don't know if they're proper pronouns. But they always have pretty good insight. They got me to think about a bunch of stuff. I hope they got you to think about a bunch of stuff too.